Welcome back to Pepper School here at the Garden of Apologies. This is Erik, I am your host, and I am the Barmy farmer. I grow peppers. Started in 2014 in a Burlington backyard, and we've been on this property here since the fall of 2017. It's been an awesome experience. Look at all those peppers out there. Okay, all right. Let me show you. See? Look at all those peppers out there. All right, but those aren't the peppers that we're concerned with today. Today we have 6 exciting new cultivars that we want to get ourselves through. So I've got a red Marconi pepper to start off on the sweet side. Little red mite spider there. This is a red jalapeno. Everyone knows a jalapeno pepper, but usually we pick them before they're ripe, and you don't know the actual flavor of them. I have a Fatalii pepper, and then into challenging stage here. There's a 7-pot Gravedigger. I have an Apocalypse Scorpion, this gnarly little pod here. And the hottest pod we've done so far this series is the Chocolate Moruga Scorpion. Right on pheno there. Look at this guy. What a beaut. That is an awesome pod. All right. Let's get right to it. Got my pepper knife here. And the Marconi. Well, first off, this is an Italian heirloom pepper. I don't know when it was first created, but it's been around for years. It's usually a 3-lobed long pepper. Watch the slice on it here. There we go. And it's a sweet pepper, so there's really no heat to it. Not a lot of seeds either. Look at that. It's big, it's open, it's cavernous. It would make a really good stuffing pepper, and it grills up really nicely as well. But again, no heat, so this is just fun. And I use Marconi peppers fairly often with soy sauce. For things like fresh scents, where it's a good thickener pepper, it adds a nice flavor and a good texture to the sauce, where you don't need to use things like a xanthan gum or an agar, or any technically natural but really unnecessary things. Thicken yourself up with some nice peppers. That's it. It's quite a bit like a red bell pepper. I've got a slight tang, almost like a sour cherry bit to it there. But it's really sweet, it's really lovely. Wonderful peppers. You gotta love Marconis. All right, our second pepper. Everyone knows a jalapeno. Oh, they also bounce. Oh, give that back, Acorn. Come on. The wonderful reflexes I have here. But we all know green jalapenos. They're a staple at every sports bar. They're sliced up on your nachos. You see them stuffed with cream cheese, maybe wrapped up with carrot bacon or something like that. Or real bacon if you're one of those types. I know there's some of you out there. But we never spend a lot of time with a red jalapeno. I think Hoi Fong is one of the only places that uses the red jalapenos. And that's for their Rooster brand of sriracha that was sorely out of stock for a couple of years because they sued their farmer and wrecked that relationship. Don't sue your farmer. Let's look at a red hat here. This particular cultivar is a Bomba II. I've been growing these for a couple of years. It's a really nice jalapeno. Very thick-walled. Look at this beast here. Look at how thick that is. That is a solid pepper. Nice resistance there. It would make a terrific popper, but I've sliced it open, so sucks to be you. Get our seeds out of there. And the jalapeno. Yep. And there's that jalapeno mouth heat. So the jalapeno has a distinctive flavor that we all recognize. It's that jalapeno flavor. So with the red pepper, you get an upfront sweetness, almost like the red bell pepper kind of sweetness. And I'm getting just that jalapeno flavor and the spice on the back end. So the red jalapenos, I use them in fresh scents, but it's everything you expect in a green jalapeno with a better flavor. So if you have occasion to let your jalapenos ripen on the tree, your little pepper tree, do it. They are really nice. And when you hit the end of the season, any that aren't ripe, you can pull as green and eat them just fine as green. So the jalapeno, give them a chance. Don't be impatient. But, all right, let's get on to pepper 3 for today. So Fatalii. This is a pepper from North Africa originally, or I'm not, North Central Africa. It's an African pepper that was brought into the Americas 100 to 2 years ago when the pepper migration was happening. But this was originally an African pepper. It's in the habanero range. So I think it's probably connected in with the habanero at some point. But this is the African version. They tend to run about 125 to about 400,000 Scoville heat units. So it's in the habanero range, but a little bit hotter. See, it's got a bit of the jalapeno feel, or not jalapeno, habanero. A bit of the habanero feel to it there. Yeah, I can smell the pod. Just slicing that open, I just got that, the aromatic. Definitely some floral there. But I've used Fataliis quite a bit. It's generally a very nice pepper. The first pot of the season here, but those go into the giver sauce. There we go. It's very citrusy. That's one thing I like about the Fatalii. It's a useful pepper because it's got so much citrus to it. And then habanero kind of that immediate mouth heat that sort of fills the tongue and starts to build a little bit. And just a hint of floral. It tastes somewhat reminiscent of a lemon pledge, but with a twist on it that makes it palatable and quite a bit more pleasant than if you are cleaning your furniture with your tongue. That I don't recommend. But hey, you do you. It's a big world. There's room for all of us and all of our little quirks. Maybe some episode I'll tell you about this guy I know living in Germany. If we're talking quirks. You know who you are. Next off, peppers. This is the 7-pot Gravedigger. So it's a pepper I grew for the first time last year. The lineage on it took a little bit of research. That looks like it's the seeds I got were from Atlantic Pepper Company. It looks like Atlantic Pepper Company got their seeds from White Hot Peppers in Illinois, who I also get seeds from. And from what we can tell in the notes, it looks like it's a cross between a chocolate ghost pepper and a 7-pot primo. There we go. It's nice. It's a really firm pod. I'm excited to see what we have in there. It looks like it's about an F5, so 5th generation. So it's not completely staple yet. These are the brown ones I saved from last year. I also had some tan-colored pods. But they look a little bit more like Cypress Hill to me. But the trouble I'm having with these is that the old 90s rap band, the Gravediggers, keep popping into my head. And I know this is a Gravedigger pepper. Look at that gnarly little guy there. Lots of seeds. My brain keeps calling it the Gravedigger. And I keep thinking G to the R to the A to the V, D to the I to the... I'll just stop right there. You know how that goes. 6 feet deep. That's how it goes. Yeah, because the RZA is a razor sharp. I'm taking a small piece of this because I know what's in it. I haven't tried it yet. I didn't try the pods I grew last year. It didn't occur to me. It was a rush at the end of the season, so I just harvested the seeds, threw the rest into the freezer. So this is my first sample of the 7-pot Gravedigger. Hmm. Well then, that's a standard chocolate pod where you've got a hint of the sweetness and then you've got this burst of a somewhat unpleasant floral. It's just the heat sort of erupts off the tongue. I've got it right in the back of the throat now. That's definitely a hot pepper. And it's allergy season right now. It's just the last few days of September in 2023. So this has popped the seal in my left sinus. Thank you, Gravediggers. That's a nice pod. Nice heat. And the flavor, if matched with something that has a strong flavor to it, it's definitely going to be workable. Just watching Louise over there in the tree. We have strange squirrels in the Garden of Apologies, and it is always cat time here. Let's jump onto the Apocalypse Scorpion. So this is a guy I've been growing out for a few years. It's become a staple here. I think the last 4, perhaps 5 seasons I've grown this. It's one of the scorpion peppers that goes into the Donnybrook soy sauce. It was another Italian cultivar developed by it's an amateur and pro organization. It's a collective that grows peppers and gives each other advice. I don't know what the acronym stands for because it's probably in Italian, but it's the AIASP growing organization. So this is one of their creations. Let's get on into the Apocalypse Scorpion. So the Gravedigger we just did hits about 1.4 to 2 million Scoville heat units. And this little guy here, the Apocalypse Scorpion, falls into that range as well. Dang. And this is what we get sometimes, where the pod looks perfect on the outside, and we cut into it, and we've got a little bit of disappointment here. See, this is why it's always good to get into your pods and not just throw them into your sauce, especially for things like the freezer or fermenting. That it looks like a little bit of blemish inside here. Get you right into the frame. That's got you. So you see a little bit of the black there. Sometimes you get black when the seeds are underformed in portions of the pepper. In this case, it looks like a little bit of fuzz we've got right in here. So we may have had something that got into the pepper and gave it that little bit of blemish. That said, this is our video, and we're 13 minutes in, 13 and a half minutes. I'm not going to start this again with a different pepper. So, wish me luck. Pull off a piece here away from the rot. And this is the most dangerous triangle since Bermuda. Well, look at that. Cats are on the roof. I'd call a fireman, but they'd end up just coming down on their own. Just a tiny bit of heat there. Sorry, a tiny bit of sweet. Quite a bit of heat. Wow. Apocalypse Scorpion. I find that they're very well named. That's a very full, very bold, immediate heat that then gets right into the back of the throat the way I expect the scorpions to hit. They always get me right here, right at the back of the throat. Dang. Apocalypse Scorpion. It's an impressive pepper. It's starting to fog my glasses up just a little bit. Whew. Good times. All right. We ready for this? It's going to get worse before it gets better. All right. So, for the hottest pepper of the series so far, former world champion. This is the Chocolate Moruga Scorpion. The Moruga itself, it averages about 1.2 million Scoville heat units. In 2012, it was the world's hottest from the New Mexico Chili Pepper Institute at that 1.2 average heat. The red Moruga has peaked just over 2 million, and it was the Guinness World Record holder that the Carolina Reaper defeated to take over. But Chocolate Pod has a similar heat and a nicer flavor. It's a little bit sweeter. There you go. This is a right on pheno pod. This is exactly what you're looking for. Just a beautiful pod right here. So I haven't yet made a sauce with them, but I did smoke some over some apple chips and handed those out to some friends. They were lovely. But just, oh my goodness. Wow. You can smell the heat on it. Look at the capsaicin oils coming out there. Wow. Very thin-walled. A lot of seeds in there. Just packed. Look at that bad boy there. Just packed full of seeds. This is an on-pheno pod that is packed full of seeds. I'm definitely going to save seeds from this one. Wow. What a beautiful pod. Just sharing my excitement for a moment. Wow. What a beautiful pod. I'm already starting to sweat my glasses off a little bit here from the previous. And let's do it. Oh my goodness. Don't know if you can see the oil just on this little piece here. Maybe if I put my hand up so it focuses better. Nope, that doesn't help. But wow. Here goes nothing. There's a hint of sweet for a second, and then bam, the whole heat goes off. This is a full mouth heat. It's not just the back of the throat you get from scorpions. This Moruga is all around sheer peppery fire. I've got roof of mouth. I've got back of throat, starting to get up into my sinuses. Man, oh man. I got my seeds from Jim Duffy. I think Jim at Super Hot Chilies is the guy who developed the red Moruga. Originally or grew it out and got the record. It was originally found in the village of Moruga in Trinidad and Tobago. Wow. That is a killer pod. Very, very aggressive. That might go into this year's Cherry Noble. Or I might make more smoked peppers with it. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching again with me and watching with me as we walk through these peppers, explore their history, their flavors, their heat levels, and have a bit of fun with it. Hang out with some cats. Please subscribe, buttons down below. Share if you'd like to. Comment if you have any questions or comments. Again, I'm Erik. This is Pepper School at the Garden of Apologies. I'm your Barmy farmer. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.